Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, words to my brethren all around the world watching this video. Hope you're having a great day today. As you're tuning in, make sure you do yourself a damn favor and hit that subscribe button, and surely you will not be disappointed. Now, let's talk light heavyweight division. Let's talk about the main man himself, Anthony Yarde, coming off a big win for his career, moving forward, 17-0, 16 KOs over Travis Reeves' fifth round stoppage. Congrats to Mr. Yarde on his victory. Now, let's talk about something interesting he said, because I'll be honest with you. Anthony Yarde, I don't believe you. We don't believe you, Anthony Yarde. You need more people, because he's talking about fighting Sergey Kovalev, right now. Okay? So here's what he said in regards to fighting Sergey Kovalev. He said, I quote, "Would I fight Sergey Kovalev right now? Definitely. I am a boxer. There is nobody on this planet that I fear." And then he goes on talking about just how he wants to fight at world level, and he needs to rush and all that stuff. There's no need to rush. So yeah, there's that. Now let's be real here for a second, okay? Anthony Yarde has yet to step up and fight the creme de la creme of the British fighters. So how is he going to step up and fight? How is he going to step up and fight the creme de la creme of the entire division at world level? He hasn't done that yet, and we're waiting for him to do that. Now, I'm not mad at Yarde because, look, I've been critical of him in the past, but I understand, the guy had 12 amateur fights. The guy had little to no boxing experience. So if they want to keep building him, Frank Warren's put a lot of money into him, and they can move at their pace. Not everybody can be Lomachenko and win a world title in X amount of fights, or be Naoya the Monster Inoue and win a couple world titles in X amount of fights. Everybody's path to glory and success in the sport is different. It is a reflection of life itself. Not everybody goes to Harvard and gets a 6-figure, 7-figure job. Okay, some people come up from the mud like your boy BT, and they just progress and progress and progress. Everybody's path is different. So I'm not hating on him. I'm not throwing any salt in his game, in his boxing skills, in his boxing career. But I do want to see Anthony Yarde begin to show some progression, because the level of fighters he's been fighting have been guys that are overmatched, no doubt about it. Now I want to see him to step up to that British level. There are some good names at British level for him to fight for, with the likes of Hosea Burton, Caleb Johnson, and of course, most notably, Joshua Buatsi. But the Buatsi fight, I think, could wait a little bit, just because Buatsi is a way more experienced amateur than Anthony Yarde is, and I wouldn't see Frank Warren throwing Yarde in there with a guy like Joshua Buatsi. But fighting Kovalev, absolutely not. There's no way in hell you're going to fight Sergey Kovalev. And you know what? I have no problems with that. I think Anthony Yarde should be afforded the time, the space, and the understanding that, hey, he didn't have a lot of amateur fights, but I think what people get frustrated with Anthony Yarde is he's knocking out Richard Smith from Birmingham in the UK. I'm making up names here. I didn't beat Richard Smith from Birmingham, but I'm saying he's fighting guys that boxing fans, that the armchair casual boxing fans would deem as bums, and then you see him knock him out, and then you see him get on the ropes, take out his mouthpiece, and yell, "Lions in the camp! Lions in the camp!" People don't want to see you saying "lions in the camp" if you're not fighting anybody of note. Okay, so I don't hate Anthony Yarde. I like watching him fight, but I can see where people get frustrated with him, because, for one, we live in a very impatient world, and two, you're yelling "lions in the camp" when you haven't fought even the creme de la creme of the best British light heavyweights. So I see the frustration, and it's not even just that. There's a lot of people in the boxing world from that side, at least according to O'Hara Davies, because I watched a video on the O'Hara Davies YouTube channel, so go subscribe to O'Hara Davies if you haven't already. O'Hara was talking about how basically a lot of people in the UK are hating on Anthony Yarde because he has been getting endorsement deals. Like, he has an endorsement deal with Adidas. He's on television shows. He's getting a lot of good things. A lot of great things are happening for his career, and he's thriving despite the fact that he hasn't fought anybody at British level. He's looked at as a star, yet he hasn't done anything to warrant that. So I can see the frustration from Anthony Yarde, but you got to understand, this guy, he needs time. And my question is this. This is my question as a boxing fan. I'm just a kid from Dania. I just talk about boxing in front of a computer with some posters behind me. I got little hand skills, but we're not professional. I'm not a professional fighter. My only question for Yarde and his team, if I ever had a chance to interview them, would be, You're a big fighter. You're very big for the weight. You could probably easily campaign a cruiserweight and have no problems making the weight. You'd be a strong, sturdy cruiserweight. The weight cut is massive to make light heavyweight. So how long is he going to be able to even stay at light heavyweight before he has to move up to cruiserweight? So you see what I'm saying? That's why with Yarde, I'm wondering, like, okay, will he be able to even stay at light heavyweight that long? Will his body allow him to afford the time to stay at light heavyweight and fight Joshua Buatsi, to fight Sergey Kovalev, to fight Marcus Brown and Bosdick and Bivol and all these other top guys? That's the question we have. But is he all hype? Is he the real deal? We don't know. We just don't know. And anybody can beat overmatched opponents, handpicked opposition, and take out the mouthpiece and yell out "Lions in the camp." But there comes a point where you got to step up, where Frank Warren's got to take your training wheels off, and you got to fight somebody with a name, somebody with some clout in this game, who people think going in can give you a hard fight. And if you can do such things, if you can go in there and you can beat a Joshua Buatsi, beat a Caleb Johnson, beat a Hosea Burton, then I think people will begin to take Anthony Yarde's career a lot more seriously. Now, I look at the physical tools, the raw athletic ability. One thing he does really well for somebody who's not as experienced in the game of boxing as he is, one thing Yarde does incredibly well is go to the body. He focuses on the body. And you don't even see that guy. You don't even see that sometimes with guys who are experienced pros, and he seems to be focused in on that as he's a young fighter, as he's a young, developing, up-and-coming fighter, which is a good habit to develop early on, because you're going to need that when you get to world level. So I like that about him. But yeah, he needs to step up at some point. He's got 17 fights now. I would say somewhere around the 22 fight mark, he needs to step up. I have no problem with him. If he wants to fight some bums his next 2 or 3 fights, or guys that are overmatched his next 2 or 3 fights, I have no problems. But 22nd fight, by that time, we want to see you pushing onwards and upwards towards that top, levels of the British scene, and then breaking your way into the world scene. Because again, like I said, he goes very well to the body. He fights very Floyd Mayweather-esque. I'm not saying he's as skilled as Floyd. I'm saying the style he emulates in the ring is very reminiscent of Floyd. Shoulder roll, pull counter, going to the body. He's someone that's has a lot of ability, but it's not really about ability in boxing, because you could have all the ability in the world and not do anything in the sport. So I like Anthony Yarde, man. But is he going to fight Sergey Kovalev next? Absolutely not. I find it funny, though. I'll be honest with you. It's funny how, like, now boxing is so much of a business now. And I'm not saying this to hate Yarde. I'm not saying this to hate Yarde or slag him off, but I'm just saying boxing's become so much of a business to the point now where they're marinating British level fights. Like, for example, in this article I have in front of me, he talks about how they need to build the Buatsi fight up and all this stuff, right? But it's crazy because now you're literally milking domestic level fights, and I don't know, I know the domestic level fights, particularly in the UK, usually always happen rather early in his career, early in careers. Like, for example, like Groves, De Gea was early, Isaac Chamberlain versus Lawrence Coley early in their careers. And it's funny now that Yarde is talking about like he's a businessman. So it's just interesting. But Anthony Yarde, look, I think as boxing fans, should we want to clamor for him to be in those big fights? Absolutely. But ultimately, it's the fighters run their careers. They have to live with the decisions they make in their careers, and it's important that they make the right decisions. And for him, he doesn't have any belts. He doesn't have any of that, so he's not really obligated to make any defenses or mandatories, anything like that. So it's not like he's Gervonta Davis, where he just has a belt hostage and he just wants to fight, smaller guys from the weight class below him. No. So this is how you do it. If you want time in boxing as a prospect to develop and get ready for the world level, the way they're building Yarde is the way to do it. And that's my take on the whole situation. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Anthony Yarde, what do you make of his career so far? What do you make of him saying he'll fight Sergey Kovalev right now? Let me know in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, like I say in every single one of these videos. You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.